Welcome to Virtualization in Computing Week 6 Hands-on Lab. Today in this video, I will be covering Week 6 lab step by step. Before we start, I wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I hope everyone is having a great time. Now let's dive into the lab. Before we start, let's have a look into our lab tasks. So today in this lab, we will be preparing our whole lab environment for installing SCVMM in Futures Lab. So there are certain requirements for SCVMM which we must complete before installing a SCVMM. The lab is divided into three parts. First is preparing a virtual machine. So we will be just installing uh, or creating our environment according to this diagram. So over there will be a parent operating system, which we already have from a week 1. Then inside a Hyper-V, we will have a child operating system, which will be our Windows Server 2016 as well. And they will be connected using an internal switch. Remember, there are three different types of switch: private, internal, and external. And in our case, we may require external switch in order to communicate with the internet for this child operating system, because this ADK file, whatever we are installing in part 3, it may require internet access. So we may change this internal switch to external switch. Okay. Task 2 is about creating a network share, just sharing a folder from a parent operating system to a child operating system. You can have a file over here and can access by this child operating system using this network. So you don't have to copy and paste the file. In task 3, we will be installing additional software called ADK, which is a requirement for SCVMM, as well as we will be installing Active Directory services for future users. Let's dive into our lab. All right, I'll start with week 1 because I don't have any virtual machine running in my VMware environment, as well as this gives an opportunity for a student who missed week 1 or week 2. Okay, let's start with creating virtual machine. So create new virtual machine. So choose custom over here. Okay, if you choose typical, it will automatically create a virtual machine for you, but I want you to go to a custom menu because we have to change certain settings for our lab. So click next, click next. Over here, choose I will install operating system later. You can choose ISO file directly as well. However, the file I have provided gives you some kind of error if you go through this method. Okay, so I will just choose I will install the operating system later. Click next, click next. Give a virtual machine name over here. Always give meaningful name. Okay, and this is requirement for your assignment as well. You must have your initial name underscore whatever the type of machine you are creating. For me, this is my Hyper-V server. So I'm just typing my name underscore Hyper-V server. This second part can be anything depending upon what you are trying to do with your operating system. Okay. Click next, click next. Number of processor, it will be always 1 on the top. On the bottom one, it depends upon the core available in your processor. Higher the core, faster it will be. So mine is 8 core, so I will be giving it 4 core, okay, or 2 core. It's up to me, okay, or it's up to you. But again, think about the number of a processor available in your computer and divide that core to a main operating system, which is your Windows 10, as well as number of a virtual machine you are trying to create in VMware. Okay, so if you are trying to create 3 virtual machine in a VMware, that 8 core should be divided by 4. That is Windows 10 plus 3 virtual machine. Okay. So I'll just leave 2 core over here. Click next. Increase to 4 GB of RAM, that is 4096. You can use a slider as well, or you can fill the box over here. I'll just leave this one as a NAT. We'll come back to this one later on. Click next, click next, click next, click again next. In a specified disk capacity, minimum of 60 GB, maximum, it depends upon what you are trying to achieve with your virtual machine. For our lab, 60 GB is enough. Okay, but again, if you change the architecture or if you are doing disk heavy tasks, then you may require to increase the capacity at the very beginning. However, you can always increase the capacity later on as well. Okay. Click next, click next. Then click on customize hardware. We have to do certain settings for our lab environment. Okay. So processor, tick on all these three boxes over here. It allows you to run Hyper-V inside Windows Server. If you don't click this one, it doesn't allow you to install Hyper-V in Windows Server. There are some additional steps as well, but you must tick all these three options. If not, you cannot install Hyper-V later on in your Windows Server. Okay. Then in CD/DVD drive, I will choose my Windows Server installation file, that is Windows Server 2016 ISO file. So I'm choosing that file over here. Now in a network adapter setting, I want you to have two network adapter, one as a NAT network adapter and the one as your LAN segment. Okay. NAT adapter allows you to access the internet, means that all the virtual machine which will have a NAT network adapter can access the internet. If you just select a LAN segment over here, it will create its own network inside a virtual machine, and it doesn't allow you to have an access to your external network or the internet. Okay. So to create a NAT, just choose NAT. You don't have to do anything. To have a LAN segment, just go to add, choose network adapter, click finish. So it gives you second network adapter over here. Choose LAN segment, click on the LAN segment and give name to that LAN segment. So name can be anything over here. So this is my lab network. I'm just giving lab network over here. And choose the name you have just created over here. And make sure that all your future VM must be in same lab network in order to communicate with each other. Now click OK. Now close. Now do finish. Before we start, we have to edit one more thing in this virtual machine file. Okay. Since VMware Workstation is a hypervisor, as well as we need to install Hyper-V inside this Windows Server you have just created now, that is hypervisor as well. And by default, this Windows Server operating system does not let you to install Hyper-V inside this VMware Workstation. So that means that you cannot install hypervisor on top of another hypervisor. So VMware Workstation is a hypervisor, Hyper-V is another hypervisor. You cannot install Hyper-V inside VMware. So to allow to install Hyper-V inside your VMware, we must edit that file. So by default, that file location will be documents virtual machine, whatever name you have given to that particular virtual machine. So for me, it's Hyper-V server. And try to find VMX file over here. Sorry, just yeah. So this is a VMX file which is called VMware Virtual Machine Configuration File. Right click on that one, open with Notepad. So Notepad over here, or you can use any other text editor. So I'm just using Notepad over here. Okay, and you need to add 3 codes over here. Okay, and you can find that code in Google. Okay, so in Google, just go and type how to run nested VMware and 4sysops. The first link you see in the Google, that is a 4sysops website. Just click on that one and just go through the middle of the text given over there. There are 3 codes available. Just copy and paste. Copy, go to the bottom, paste, copy this one, the second one, paste. Normally, one of the code, that is vsv.enable, will be already available in JSON file. So if this file or that code is already presented in your document, never copy that file or that code. Okay, so for me, I just need 2 of the code available over here. Okay, for you guys, you may require 3. So in some case, I have seen that vsv.enable is already available in your configuration file. Sometimes it won't be available. So in that case, you must copy the third one as well. So for now, I'll just leave as it is. Okay. However, make sure the command you have pasted is 100% correct. Okay. If you do not type it correctly or paste it correctly, you will get either a configuration error or a dictionary error. So if you ever face that problem, please come back to this text configuration and re-edit the file. Okay, just delete whatever you have pasted, and I prefer you to copy and paste over here. Okay, so after that one, just save, file, save, power on the virtual machine. We have to go through the installation process. Okay, so over here, you don't have to do anything. Just click next, click on install now. And just notice in this screen, there are 4 different options available over here. You must select the one with the desktop experience. It is either a second one or the last one. Okay, just make sure you have selected the second one or 4th one. So I'm just selecting the second one. Click next. Choose I accept terms and condition. Click next. Then choose custom over here. Okay, do not select upgrade. We don't have anything to upgrade. Choose custom. Click next, and it will start installing the operating system. So I'll just pause the video and wait it to finish. All right, it took me 5 minutes to come to this screen. So just input the password. Now it asks you to do a Control Alt Delete button, but in your lab there is no, that keyboard doesn't have option for Control Alt Delete. To do that one, just go over here in the top bar and click this icon. Just log into a computer, else it's 545 for me. Once your computer is ready, the first thing to do with your computer is to change the IP address and computer name. And it is very important for your assignment as well as working of your lab environment. Okay, so to change the name, go to Server Manager, go to Local Server, click on the computer name, go to Change, and change the computer name from here. So I will just type Roses underscore Hyper-V server. Okay, again, it is very important to have your name underscore whatever the type of the server it is. So it, for me, it matches with my Hyper-V server. Click OK. Yes. Click OK. Okay. Again, click OK. Click close. Do not restart now because we still have to change the IP address. Now to change the IP address, go to Ethernet 0, click on this icon. You can choose, you can click either of them, Ethernet 0 or Ethernet 1. Click over here. Remember, there are two adapters. Okay, one of them is NAT, another one is your LAN segment. And to distinguish between NAT and the LAN segment is NAT always gets IP address automatically, and you can define NAT by looking at this second line over here. If you see this is as a network, this is NAT, so I will just rename this one as NAT so it is easier for me in the future whenever I'm working with the network. And this is my LAN segment because it is an identified network. I must input an IP address over here to define its network, whereas NAT will automatically get the IP address from VMware services itself. I'll just rename this one as my LAN segment. Go to properties of LAN segment. Remember, we don't have to put anything in the NAT, okay? We must put IP address in LAN segment. Go to IP version 4, properties, IP address 192.168. For you guys, there will be XX over here, okay? Whereas XX is your last two digits of your student ID. If you have last digit as 50, it will be 50 from your student ID. And it is a must for your assignment as well. Just remember that one. And for here, I'll just put 1, okay? Default gateway, I don't need any default gateway because there is no router in my network. DNS server, I don't have any DNS server for now, so I will just leave everything blank. Okay, after that one, just restart your computer. All right, let's log into a system. Also it's 545 for me. Okay, now we will work according to our lab manual. We'll go directly to number 3, add roles and feature, installing .NET 3.5 and Active Directory domain services. As well as to install child operating system, we need a Hyper-V as well. We will be doing all these 3 tasks together at the same time rather than doing one by one. Just go to manage, add roles and features. Again, you have to go to this option via server manager. Okay, click next, click next, click next, choose Active Directory domain services. Over here, Active Directory domain services, choose Hyper-V, click next, choose .NET 3.5, click next, click next. So from now onwards, this will be a setting for your Hyper-V. Click next, but I will leave this one as blank. Migration, allow this one for a migration, live migration, because we have to do that task in future. Just leave everything else default. Click next, click on specify an alternative source path. This is for the installation file of your .NET 3.5. Over here, type according to this example. Okay, so there is an example given over here. Type exactly same. However, your source file might be in a different location. So over here, it is on E drive. For me, it is on D drive. This D drive is Windows Server 2016 installation file. Okay, so for me, it is in D drive. And if you go inside this D drive, there is again that sources over here, and there is subfolder inside this one. So just type whatever location you have in your computer rather than this example, but all the format must be same as this example. So for me, instead of E drive, it's D drive, sources, yes, X, yes. Okay, just click OK, click install. After that one, it will install everything. I'll just pause the video and we'll come back after installation is completed. Welcome back. We have completed the installation of the features, and I did restart my computer after installation because there was a message called restart pending, and my bad, I was not supposed to install ADDS on this particular computer. So I will just leave this one as it is, but do not install ADDS on this particular computer. Okay. So I'll just configure a Hyper-V server, our child partition according to the diagram. So we'll be installing Windows Server 2016 over here as a child partition. Before that one, we have to bring Windows Server ISO file over here on this particular area. To do so, we cannot copy paste directly from outside to inside. So we have to install VMware Tools, which gives you an ability to copy and paste directly from your Windows 10 to your Windows Server. Okay. So after clicking install on VMware Tools, either click over here or go to the folder, go to VMware Tools, click on Auto Run or Setup 64. Click next, next. You don't have to do anything, and after the installation is complete, restart the computer. So I have restarted my computer. Now to further configure the child operating system, we need an ISO file to be copied on this particular operating system or a virtual machine. So I'll just drag and drop that ISO file of Windows Server 2016 over here. Remember, you cannot drag and drop until and unless you install VMware Tools. All right, the file is copied now, so I'll just go to Hyper-V Manager. Just wait for your server to come up over here. Okay, now my server is over there. So click on the server. For the network access to your virtual machine in Hyper-V, we have to create a virtual switch. To create a virtual switch, click on Virtual Switch Manager. So there are three different types of virtual switches available in Hyper-V: external, internal, and private. External gives access to the internet for every child you have created in Hyper-V, as long as you have attached a particular external switch to your network adapter. Internal provides a communication network between your parent partition and child partition, and private only allows communication between child to child partition only. So anything you create inside the Hyper-V or any virtual machine you create inside the Hyper-V, private switch allows a communication between those virtual machine only. So let's create three different adapters so we can use a different adapter according to our purpose. So to create new one, just click on new virtual network switch, select whatever adapter you want to create. I will create all three adapters so I can use in my virtual machines in future. So click on external, create switch, type external because this is my type external switches. So while creating an external switch, it asks you to select the actual Ethernet adapter. This Ethernet adapter is the one located in your parent partition. So when you select this adapter, the traffic will go outside of your Hyper-V network using particular adapter over here. Okay, so if you want to access the internet, you have to select the NAT adapter. If you want to access just for a VMware network, you'll select a LAN segment adapter. Right now, I don't know which one is which. So I'll just select randomly, and if I have to uh, connect to the right one, I'll come back and fix this one later on. So I'll just select the one for now, click apply. You don't have to do anything or click any other settings. And remember, when we create an external switch, it creates a new adapter in your parent partition. Okay, and this adapter is bridged or combined with the adapter you have chosen over here. For example, if I go over here, so this adapter right now is my NAT adapter, and if I click on IPv4, now I cannot do any setting in this adapter. Okay, that adapter, since this adapter is my NAT adapter over here, this NAT adapter is merged with this external adapter. All the settings will be combined over here. If you do any setting on this particular adapter, it reflects in your NAT adapter. Okay. Now again, I want to create internal switch, create virtual switch. I'll type internal. Okay, apply. Now again, when we create any internal virtual network switch in Hyper-V, it will create another adapter in your parent partition as well. And this is a standalone adapter. It is not linked with any other adapter because we haven't defined any other adapter over here. You have to provide IP address like from a same subnet over here as well as your child partition in order to communicate with each other. Similarly, I'll create another switch, private switch. Apply. Okay. Remember, when you create a private switch, it doesn't create any adapter in your parent partition because private switch is used for a communication between child partition only. Okay. Now, let's create new virtual machine in Hyper-V. So I'll just go to new over here, virtual machine, click next, give a proper name for your virtual machine similar to your VMware. So Rogers underscore, this will be my Active Directory. Okay, click next, assign memory. If it's Windows 7, you can work with 512 MB. Since I'm installing Windows Server, I will give around 2 GB of memory. Okay. Configuring network. On the networking side, if you go to this drop down menu, you can see external, internal, and private. These are the virtual switch which we have created in our virtual switch manager. Okay, so according to your requirement, you can choose anything. Just remember what it does and how it allows a communication between your virtual machine with parent partition as well as internet. For installing software in my virtual machine, I will be choosing external network adapter over here. Click next. Click in virtual hard drive. I need to define a size. So I will define 30 GB over here because I'm installing a Windows Server and installing Active Directory. Again, it depends upon what you are trying to achieve in your virtual machine. This is the location where we give our installation ISO file. This is the file which we copied in our desktop. So go to browse. Sorry, just go to desktop. Okay, click next and click finish. Once you create a virtual machine, it will show over here in the middle pane over here the list of the virtual machine you have created in the Hyper-V. Just select one you are trying to access, right click connect, or you can choose that option from the right hand side pane. So connect. Okay, so right click connect, then press on this green button. Once you click green button, it will go through the same installation process. Just carry on with the installation as you did in the Hyper-V installation. So I will just skip this part. So the installation of the Windows Server 2016 inside the Hyper-V is completed. Behind the scene, I have renamed the computer. However, I didn't change the IP address for this network adapter because this is an external network adapter, and external DHCP server will provide an IP address automatically. If you choose internal or a private, remember you have to set the IP address by yourself. So let's go inside. To press Ctrl Alt Delete, you have to go to Action, click on Ctrl Alt Delete, and enter the password. For me, it's LSys545. Now we have to install .NET 3.5 and Active Directory in this server according to our task. So we'll do so. Going to Manage, Add Roles and Features, click Next, click Next, click Next, select Active Directory Domain and Services, Add Features, click Next, .NET 3.5, click Next, Confirmation, click Next. Specify an alternative path source, click on this one as we did earlier. Type the path of your installation file. So for me, it's again inside D drive rather than E drive. So if you see over here, this is my ISO file. This ISO file is attached to D drive. So I'll click OK and install. I'll pause the video until it completes and I'll come back after restarting the server. The installation of Active Directory services and .NET 3.5 was successful, and I have restarted the computer. Though we have installed Active Directory, we still need to do some post configuration. So just click on the flag, promote this server to domain controller, add a new forest. So we give our name .com over there, click next, provide the password over here. This password is used for Active Directory recovery, so put LSys545 over here as well. Click next, click next, click next, click next, click next, click on install. So it takes some time for Active Directory to be installed, and it will ask you to restart the computer. Please restart. While Active Directory is being installed, let's go to our lab manual and see what we'll have to do. So we have already installed .NET 3.5 and Active Directory domain services. Now let's go to Google and try to find ADK. So in Google, type Windows ADK file. Click on the first link, download and install Windows ADK. You need to download Windows ADK file for Windows 10, 1903, Windows PE add-on for ADK. So download 2 of these for the computer. Download. While it is being downloaded and Active Directory is being configured, let's look into task 2. So we have to do a task 2 over here in this computer because there is a problem for copying and pasting file to your Hyper-V. We cannot copy and paste as we did in VMware. So we'll create a share folder where we keep our file into that share folder, and we access that share folder via network and access that file. So let's create a new folder in your desktop. So this is my share. Right click, go to properties, go to sharing, go to share, click share. Just run network discovery and file sharing for all public network. Done. Go to advanced sharing, share this folder, permission, give access to everyone. Okay, full control, change, read, write, give everyone, so that any computer in the network can access this share folder. Okay, I'm just giving access to everyone for just this lab. Depending upon your scenario, again, you have to change your share permission. Right now, this gives access to anyone who wants to access this share folder. Okay, apply, okay, close. So let's log into the server. So now it is domain joined. So here is my domain name, Roses. Remember, I have created roses.com. So password is same as previous. This is 545. Okay. Let's see the downloaded file. So the file is downloaded now. I will just copy and paste to. So I'm just pasting that downloaded file to a desktop, and I'll put this in a share folder. Now to access this folder, I need to find the IP address of this computer. So this is the IP address of main computer. Remember, it is connected to an external adapter. The status details. So this is my IP address, 192.168.254.129. So to access that folder, just go to run command, /, type 192.168. Forgot the IP address, 245.129. Let's confirm the IP address. So 192.168.245.129 / and the name of the share folder, share. Now I can access that folder directly from my Hyper-V using a network communication. So I don't have to copy and paste that file over here. Okay, so let's set up a ADK. Remember, to set up this ADK file, we need an internet access. That's why we selected external network adapter. Double click, ADK, run. Click install, install asset. Just choose a deployment tool, click install. So the installation is completed. So now let's install WinPE as well. So again, to access a folder, just click on run. So start menu, type run, or press Windows R. It will show you a previous link. Click OK. So I will set up WinPE, run. So just install, select the default option, click yes, click asset, and install. Again, it takes time depending upon your internet speed. I'll just pause the video and we'll come back. The Windows WinPE environmental add-ons installation is completed now. With this one, we have completed all the tasks given in our lab manual.